So there are 3 things which you can do to not feel overstimulated. Number 1 is to stop doom scrolling, or to stop scrolling completely. And the reason why I say this is because I want you to ask yourself, when have you ever scrolled and got something from it? Like, there's no benefit to scrolling, really. You might be mildly entertained, but realistically, you leave scrolling realizing that it's not added anything to your life. The only thing it's done is taken away your time, and also it's left you feeling slightly buzzed, right? Because of the stimulation element of the dopamine release you get from scrolling. Understand that dopamine is a needed chemical in the brain for motivation, for doing things. So not only is it taking away your time, but it's taking away your ability to be motivated to do other things. So pay attention to that. There's really no benefit to scrolling. So start to really detach, because the other thing, what you don't realize, is the way it connects to your heart, energetically speaking. You're swiping through all these different emotions, images, faces, all of these things that humans are meant to connect to and through, but in limited amounts, right? Like, really, even if you work in a busy office, you're only going to be exposed to a certain amount of faces and people in a day, and your brain's going to have to work hard to not remember those faces. So when you scroll, it really pulls your energy in many different directions. This is where you start to feel drained, overstimulated, tired but restless, ready to sleep but wide awake. So understand that mechanism too. I think in the future they're gonna have some studies which show how detrimental scrolling is for people, for the mind, and for your overall health and well-being. So before you get told by someone else that scrolling is bad for you, know how bad it is for yourself, and just stop engaging with it. The second thing is nature, spending time outdoors and balancing your circadian rhythm. That basically means that when you go to sleep at night, you want to go to sleep at a good time, you want to wake up at a good time, or a regular time, have good sleep hygiene, and get some sunlight early. If you can ground yourself, if you can go and touch some grass, that's going to be very beneficial for you. In particular, waterfalls and rain, they release negative ions, and this helps to balance your internal systems, your energy systems, as well as chemically, right? It's going to restore health. So yeah, just getting outdoors, getting some fresh air, also really important. Making sure that the air quality that you're surrounding yourself with is good. These things regulate your nervous system naturally. And again, when we become detached from nature, it's easier for us to become dysregulated, or it's harder for us to stay regulated because we're away from what would balance us naturally. So try and get outdoors more. If you live in a city, just at least spend some time outdoors walking. When you walk, breathe slightly deeper than normal. This will help restore balance in the system. And then finally, the last thing in regards to becoming overstimulated is just slowing down. And I know this sounds obvious or kind of small, but it really is a big deal, because you can't dysregulate something outside of you. Can't dysregulate you. You have to understand you're dysregulating yourself. It's not like, oh, my life is so crazy, oh, like, because you're choosing to engage in a crazy lifestyle, being busy, paying bills, rushing around, like, all of these things are optional, okay? And you might argue and say, well, bills are not optional to pay, but that's not the point of this video, so we'll save that argument for another day. But slowing down means recognizing in your mind that you've been rushing around, you've been trying to get somewhere in life, and there's really nowhere to get to. Like, think about that for a second. Like, you're living, so you're alive, and you're part of life, you're part of the universe, just out here in the moment, but you're trying to get somewhere in life. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what you cannot, you're not separate from life, so you can't go somewhere in life. I hope you follow. So even the concept of like trying to improve your life situation is nonsensical, because like, it just is what it is. I'm not saying you can't do better for yourself, achieve things, whatever. Of course you can, but the way you do it, if you're trying to rush the process, if you're trying to change your circumstance fast because you're not happy with your current one, then all you're doing is you're dysregulating yourself, because you're feeding into a false reality. You're feeding into a lie, which is that your life isn't good enough as it is. So learn to slow down, learn to enjoy the process, learn to be where you are right now, learn to enjoy the roses, smell the flowers. Just slow down and enjoy the moment. That's really the main piece of advice I can give for you. If you're feeling dysregulated, if you're ever feeling dysregulated, understand that it's just your brain. What's happening in front of you doesn't agree with your brain. Your expectations of life, your thought processes, what you want out of life, it's not matching what you have, and that causes dissonance. That causes the upset, that causes the friction that you experience. So slow down, stop scrolling, claim back your energy, claim back your dopamine. What was the other thing I said? Yeah, I forgot. But yeah, those are the main things. Oh yeah, get outside, do a bit with nature, right? But overall, as well as dopamine, as well as scrolling, right, it's gonna be other things: alcohol, drugs, not sleeping, basically just doing the wrong things, right? Doing the things you shouldn't be doing, whether it's for pleasure or whether it's a distraction. You have to take responsibility for your health. You have to take responsibility for your health. So you have to grow up. You have to let go of the things that no longer serve you, whether that's video games, in my case, whether that's vaping, smoking, drinking, weed, drugs, sex, gambling, addiction, all of these things that stimulate us, caffeine. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't drink coffee, but I'm saying if you have a problem with being overstimulated, then caffeine is not going to help, obviously. Yeah, but I just love my coffee in the morning, blah blah blah. Well, what do you love your coffee in the morning more than you love being overstimulated? The answer is yes. Otherwise you wouldn't be overstimulated. Understand that. Unless you lack awareness, unless you don't know that that's the reason why. And that's what I'm trying to share here, is maybe you didn't realize that getting outside, stop scrolling and stop rushing around is why you feel overstimulated. Stop looking and blaming other things. Change your life. Be responsible. So yeah. So get on the right path. Breathe deep. Slow down. Stop doing things that overstimulate you. excuse me, and get outside. You'll quickly find balance. And the reason why this is important is because it's your life. You'll get more clarity, you'll be more peaceful, your relationships will be better, your work will be better if you're not overstimulated. So not just, as well as your general quality of life, right? So have a think about those things. Anyway, this video is getting a bit long, so if you want my help, my support with this, feel free to reach out. Peace.